What would make a man walk away from millions of loyal fans, a booming YouTube empire, and a dream career most people could only imagine? Bieri, the mastermind behind Vice Grip Garage, seemed unstoppable, restoring forgotten cars, landing TV deals, and building a massive online following. Then suddenly he disappeared. Uploads slowed, rumors spread, and fans were left with one burning question: why everyone? But this wasn't just a story about burnout or bad luck. Behind the cameras was a man making life-altering decisions, choices that would reshape not only his career, but also his family and legacy forever. For years, Vice Grip Garage was one of YouTube's most consistent automotive channels. Bieri uploaded regularly, fans tuned in religiously, and his blend of humor, relatability, and mechanical know-how made every video a hit. Then, suddenly, something changed. Uploads slowed. Live streams that once connected him directly with viewers went quiet. Even events he had attended faithfully year after year no longer listed his name. For a creator so deeply woven into the automotive YouTube scene, his absence didn't go unnoticed. It sparked an avalanche of speculation. Fans filled the comment sections with questions. Some worried about Derek's health, others feared burnout, and a few whispered about financial or legal trouble. Rumors of a possible lawsuit began spreading across forums and Facebook groups. Theories grew more elaborate with each passing week. Had Derek been forced to step away? Was the dream over? But Derek himself never jumped in to clear the air. He remained quiet, leaving fans to piece together fragments of updates from Instagram or scattered posts on his website. This silence made the mystery even deeper. To truly understand why Derek stepped back, we need to rewind and look at how his story started, not in a garage, but on a farm. Bieri's story began far from cameras and car shows. Born on May 16, 1984 in rural North Dakota, he grew up in an environment where survival came before passion. Farm life didn't allow for luxuries like calling a repair shop when something broke. When a truck refused to start or a piece of machinery failed, it had to be fixed then and there. For Derek, that meant learning quickly from his father and grandfather, men who knew how to make do with limited resources. At first, this wasn't about love for cars. It was necessity. Fixing old trucks, welding broken equipment, and fabricating parts on the fly became part of daily life. Over time, though, necessity grew into skill, and skill grew into talent. By his teenage years, Derek had developed a reputation for being able to repair just about anything, no matter how rough its condition. What's most interesting is that these lessons weren't about flashy builds or expensive tools. They were about grit, improvisation, creativity. These early experiences would later set Derek apart in the crowded YouTube space. But before he ever uploaded a video, he tried living a very different life, the kind that required a suit and tie. Despite his natural talent for mechanics, Derek didn't immediately pursue it as a career. Instead, he entered the corporate world. He wore suits, worked steady hours, and earned a respectable paycheck. On the outside, it looked like success. But on the inside, Derek felt lost. The stability came at the cost of fulfillment. In an interview, he admitted looking around one day and then realizing, "I was living a life I didn't even remember choosing." That moment of clarity didn't instantly turn him into a YouTuber, but it planted the seed. Around 2017, inspired by online shows like Roadkill, Derek had an idea. What if he just filmed himself working on cars? He didn't overthink it. One night, he taped a broken iPhone to his garage door, hit record, and got to work on an old Camaro with a small block and a 4-speed. The video was shaky, the lighting terrible, but the authenticity was undeniable. That clip was the birth of Vice Grip Garage. No sponsors, no production crew, no blueprint for success, just Derek, his tools, and his willingness to share the process. What started as a fun side project would soon take on a life of its own. At first, YouTube was just a hobby squeezed between Derek's corporate job. He filmed in the evenings, edited late into the night, and treated the channel as a creative outlet. But something about his videos resonated. Derek wasn't just wrenching, he was storytelling. His self-deprecating humor, combined with a knack for making even complex mechanics understandable, made viewers feel welcome, whether they loved cars or not. The turning point came with a forgotten Camaro Z28. The car was a wreck, but Derek worked his magic and brought it roaring back to life. The video blew up, and suddenly Vice Grip Garage wasn't just a side project. It was gaining serious traction. Views climbed, subscribers poured in, and soon Derek faced a crossroads. Stay in the stability of corporate life, or gamble on a risky but passionate career in content creation. He chose risk, he chose authenticity, and it paid off. Fans loved his budget-friendly approach, using zip ties, plastic fuel lines, and old oil filters, whatever it took to make cars run again. He wasn't about flashy edits or big budgets. He was about grit, improvisation, and honesty. Vice Grip Garage became more than content. It became a movement. By 20 on, Vice Grip Garage had transformed Derek's life completely. With his channel booming and opportunities multiplying, he made a life-changing decision, moving his family from Minnesota to Tennessee. The move wasn't just about new scenery, it was strategic. Minnesota winters slowed projects to a crawl, and long commutes stole precious hours. Tennessee offered warmer weather, cheaper living, and more freedom for both family and work. The change paid off. Derek suddenly had more time to focus on what he loved. Bigger projects rolled into the shop, and his growing influence caught the attention of major players. Motor Trend reached out with an offer that would elevate him further. His own TV show, Roadworthy Rescues. Now, Derek wasn't just a YouTuber, he was a face of mainstream automotive entertainment. He also dove deeper into motorsports, racing at major events and building connections in the car community. Sponsorships from top companies like Motion Raceworks and Holly cemented his position as a respected figure. From the outside, it looked like Derek had everything: a thriving brand, a supportive family, and recognition across the industry. But with rapid growth came pressure, and it wasn't long before cracks began to show. By 2023, fans noticed something troubling. Vice Grip Garage uploads slowed. Regular live streams disappeared. Derek skipped events he once never missed. For someone so consistent, the sudden change was jarring. Fans began filling the silence with speculation. Some believed Derek was simply burned out from the nonstop grind. Others pointed to family commitments or health struggles. A few went further, suggesting financial problems or even legal issues. The loudest rumor involved a supposed lawsuit, which spread like wildfire online. But as time passed, nothing concrete emerged. No official filings, no scandals, just whispers and theories. The truth was more practical. Vice Grip Garage had grown too fast. The family had followed the same breakneck pace for years, and it wasn't sustainable. They needed to regroup, adjust, and find balance again. But Derek didn't jump online to explain himself. Instead, he stayed mostly silent, only dropping small updates through Instagram posts or occasional website notes. That quiet approach only deepened the mystery. Fans wondered, was this the end of Vice Grip Garage as they knew it? Then came a sighting that reminded everyone that Derek hadn't disappeared. He just stepped into a different role. In the middle of the speculation, fans got a rare reassurance. Derek was spotted at Walt Disney World with his family. No production crew, no staged content, just Derek, his wife, and his kids enjoying a vacation. What stood out wasn't his absence from YouTube, but his presence in real life. He smiled, laughed, posed for pictures, and never turned down a single fan who asked for one. That moment silenced some of the darker rumors. Derek hadn't collapsed under pressure or fallen into controversy. He was still the same approachable, down-to-earth man fans had always admired. The difference was simple. He was choosing family over constant content. But while Derek wasn't uploading at the same pace, he wasn't idle either. Behind the scenes, Vice Grip Garage was evolving into something bigger than just a channel. Derek was building a sustainable brand, one that wouldn't depend entirely on his face being in front of a camera every week. For many creators, slowing down means decline. For Derek, it meant transformation. He wasn't disappearing, he was reshaping Vice Grip Garage into something that could last. And that shift took his influence far beyond YouTube alone. As Vice Grip Garage slowed in uploads, it expanded in reach. Derek launched merchandise lines, partnered with major automotive companies, and even auctioned off cars restored on his channel. Fans could buy more than shirts. They could own a piece of Vice Grip history. Cars like the Monte Carlo and Nova, once rescued in videos, were given new homes through auctions. He also created a more personal connection. Derek began offering customized shoutouts, filmed right in the garage, with the same honesty fans loved in his videos. Whether it was a birthday message or words of encouragement, people got a piece of Derek's authenticity. Meanwhile, sponsorships with respected brands like Motion Raceworks and Bear Brakes showed he wasn't just a YouTube personality, he was a trusted figure in the automotive industry. He brought credibility because he wasn't just endorsing products, he actually used them in his builds. Vice Grip Garage had become more than a YouTube channel. It was now a full-fledged brand rooted in blue-collar authenticity. But through it all, Derek never let people forget the core message. You don't need endless money or a fancy shop to make something great. You just need determination and maybe a few zip ties. At the center of Derek's story is family. Vice Grip Garage isn't just a solo project, it's a family operation. His wife Jessica rarely appears on camera, but behind the scenes she runs the show. She plans trips, organizes tools, handles sponsorships, and manages the business side of the channel. Derek himself admitted, Without Jessica, half of these videos wouldn't even happen. Their children are part of this story too. Growing up surrounded by tools and engines, they're following in their father's footsteps. The youngest, Bentley, even launched his own channel, Little Grip Garage, where he works on go-karts and dirt bikes. Fans love seeing the next generation take shape. But Derek doesn't pressure his kids to become mechanics. He put it best during a live stream. "I don't need my kids to be mechanics. I just want them to know how to solve problems. If they can fix a car, they can fix life." That philosophy resonated with fans everywhere and quickly went viral. This focus on family and problem solving is what makes Vice Grip Garage more than just car content. It's a way of life rooted in resilience, hard work, and passing down values to the next generation. So what really happened to Derek Bieri? He didn't vanish, he transformed. Instead of chasing endless uploads, he chose balance, more family time, smarter projects, and a sustainable brand. Vice Grip Garage is no longer just a YouTube channel. It's a legacy of authenticity, grit, and blue-collar creativity. Derek proved you don't need endless money or shiny tools to make something meaningful. You just need persistence and heart. His story isn't about disappearing, but redefining success. Maybe his greatest lesson isn't fixing cars. It's showing that sometimes stepping back is the boldest step forward.